Alrighty, let's do an update on Bitcoin and where that's at. So I give you guys, exactly my play, and I think it was perfect last time. Basically, it's really at a touch point right now where you really let me isolate it real quick. You really don't want to. It's not that it's bullish or that it's bearish. Last time I was saying basically you don't want to touch it right where it's at right now because of the technical aspect of it. So when you look at this chart formation right here, this could go so many different ways. Right now I'm anticipating that it breaks to the upside, but let's say it breaks to the downside, potentially you would have a continuation of a downtrend and potentially like a double bottom or a double top idea. I said that wasn't most likely going to play out. I said I just really wouldn't be touching it at these areas because it doesn't really make sense until we break higher highs, which it looks like it's about to try and do right here. So where this purple line is, that's the neckline for both a ginormous head and shoulders, and also it sets a higher high on this entire pattern, and it looks incredible. So earlier today, I was kind of looking at the charts. I was a little bit concerned that potentially this was going to be like some kind of gravestone doji candle, which would potentially print out bearish. But what's nice is we've got above a lot of the VPR support, at least on the daily, so it looks good. Like if you look at where all the support is, it's now underneath us. That looks good. The other thing is this pattern is extremely bullish, because you have these nice long wicks down here that play into the measured move. So everything looks good on this. We've been talking about this price target for a while. It'd be 56,000. I think it'd be around 56 to 58. That looks really good if this plays out. The only thing that, to really keep on your radar, because I always explain what's going on, buy, sell, everything like that. I always explain what I'm doing, and just gonna sneeze. And I always explain what you need to know. All my TA looks so simple and everything because I always just tell you what you need to know, and I show you the charts you need to look at. So right now we're looking at the Bollinger Bands. We don't really even need to be looking at the MACD. It doesn't look like we're going to be testing that unless we get some really bearish news. Unless something crazy happens, we're not going to be testing that. Really what I'm looking at is the Bollinger Bands, because look, the price shot up, and where did it correct back into? It corrected back into the Bollinger Bands. I've had this chart up for a while, and that looks like, the reason I'm bringing that up is because yes, we're bullish. Yes, it looks bullish, but if you don't have these Bollinger Bands pulled up, then you're going to get your hopes up like a lot of traders did right here, where, wow, price action looks really good. Maybe they went long right here, and now potentially they're at a loss or at their stop loss, because you got to look at this Bollinger Band. So even though really whether the price is going to be bullish or whether the price is just going to continue to be neutral until it breaks above this purple line is depending on how this close happens today. So it closes in 3 hours, 3 hours and 10 minutes. 3 hours and 10 minutes is when this candlestick on the daily closes. And if that thing closes above this purple line, to be ultra safe, it would be at 44,600. If it closes above there, then super bullish. It's going to be a little bit outside of the Bollinger Bands, but we're also going to get that daily close, so it's also going to give the Bollinger Bands a little bit more space, because as you move up, the Bollinger Bands are moving up, and it's literally going to knock it over here, so that's going to give it a little bit more room to ride around in those Bollinger Bands. So it would be a good place for the price to be. That being said, if that does occur, if the bullish scenario does play out, understand that if we do ride up, it's most likely going to be a jump like this, come down, jump like this, and just keep correcting into the Bollinger Bands, because there's just so much pent up bullish momentum. If we do actually break bullish out of this pattern, that's going to be huge, and I do expect the markets to react to that. But I also do think that, and you got to understand that today's Friday, so tomorrow's the weekend, which means the exchanges, like all the professional traders that work for these hedge funds, all these hedge fund funds, they're not going to be open tomorrow. So crazy stuff happens on the weekend. So I'm not predicting anything as far as if we're going to have this purple close or not. But here's what I'm saying, because it doesn't matter either way. If we break above that purple line, close the daily above there, if it doesn't happen today, it could happen tomorrow, whatever. We just need a daily close above 44,600. Once we get that, we're in the bullish zone. That being said, if we don't get that, it doesn't really make sense to do anything. You can buy in anticipation because it doesn't look like we're going to go down. But there's been so much times it looked like it wasn't going to go down, and then we had some bad news or something. And I'm still eyeing the lower levels of, 29,000 could potentially still be the bottom depending on how everything plays out. I don't think that's likely, but it's Bitcoin. So it's Bitcoin. And there's a lot of, and somebody was just talking about it on their show the other day. There's a lot of factors. It's not as simple as it used to be. So the dollar, interest rates, COVID-19 news, and regulations. Regulations have always been a thing, but a lot of new stuff factoring the price in, so it's not as simple as it used to be. You can't just look at the chart anymore, and so, but today we can, because everything's been kind of boring on all that other news. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Is Head and Shoulders play out? If it doesn't play out, then we're just neutral. Probably come back down to right here. Makes sense. All right.